Good choice for me to wear pink glasses today.
I think so, yeah. That's obviously the theme of the day. I've got a pink tie. Jackie, we've got a pink car. You know, everybody's going pink for some reason or other. Let's talk about Joe Biden, though, because we reported this story yesterday that he pardoned his son, Hunter. He's getting a bit of criticism, not only from people who are not Democrats, but he's also getting it from Democrats as well.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of criticism, mainly because he had made a previous statement that he would not do it, and he's kind of gone back on that. Listen, I think there are a lot of things to be concerned about in the U.S. I don't think his prerogative is to grant pardons, so I think this is a non-issue, and there are bigger fish to fry.
There are bigger fish to fry, but let's have a look at what he said back in June, because it's not that long ago, let's face it, on ABC.
As we sit here in Normandy, your son Hunter is on trial, and I know that you cannot speak about an ongoing federal prosecution. But let me ask you, will you accept the jury's outcome, their verdict, no matter what it is?
Yes.
And have you ruled out a pardon for your son?
Yes.
So, he said yes and yes. And I guess there are bigger fish to fry, and you're absolutely right, Patti, but unfortunately the people, certainly if it happened in this country, where we don't really have this system, but if say, a former Prime Minister or a current Prime Minister decided to pardon somebody who had been charged and convicted of some criminal acts, then I think there would be a massive uproar, because people would say it's a two-tier system. You know, there's one rule for the people who've got friends in high places, and there's another rule for the rest of us. And I think that's what annoys people, I guess.
Yeah, and, I think we're going to see, probably even more evidence of that, with the latest Supreme Court ruling that happened, giving the president this kind of, vague immunity to things, and how that's tested over the coming term and the coming years. Obviously, I hate people who compare the lists of who pardoned who.
Yeah.
I think, that's irrelevant as well. Yeah, Trump pardoned a lot of people at the end of his term. Obama, I think, has the largest list of pardons, just under 2,000. So, I think in the case of Joe Biden, people are going to challenge that that he went back on his word. I understand that challenge, but like I said, I think there are going to be, constitutional, issues that are going to rise above this in the near future. So, like I said, I think this will be a non-issue in a couple days, if not a couple weeks.
Let's talk about the Democrats in general, because, I mean, the party itself must be kind of nursing its wounds after the loss to Donald Trump and, Kamala Harris's, failed attempt at trying to get into the White House, because it was a kind of split party, wasn't it, in terms of where it should be going, how far left it should be looking, whether it should be being as kind of, obsessed with sort of cultural issues than it should have been obsessed more with the economy. Who's running it now? I mean, if I said to you, who's running the Democratic Party? Because Joe Biden looks like a man who is not very keen on Nancy Pelosi now, or Kamala Harris, or the people that sort of pushed him out of the way and said you shouldn't be running for president.
Yeah, I think the next thing to watch is really who is going to take charge of the DNC. That election is at the beginning of February, and I think there's an identity crisis within the Democratic Party, given the mandate that was, really, against what they had presented at the last election. I think when we talked, I was in North Carolina. There was, which was a state that elected Democrats pretty much down the ticket, and Kamala Harris still lost in that state. So I think there's a lot of introspection. There's still a lot of work to be done, but I think, at the core of it, it's really, the base of the Democratic Party did not turn out for this election.
Yeah.
By the millions. And that's what needs to be looked at, from party leadership all the way down to the local, state, and the national party as well.
Yeah, absolutely right. Listen, we've got to cut it short, Patti, because we're out of time, but thank you very much indeed. Patti Shields, Chair of Democrats Abroad in Ireland.